Well, it was a fairly good week for me. I got to be a part of Bob Nalbandian's Inside Metal, his TRadioV show.
Yeah, I saw about half of it.
Yeah,
I saw like when you came on and like one other segment. I didn't get to see till the end. But.
Yeah, but it was cool because the guys from Gonzo from Armored Saint had an opportunity to talk about obviously Armored Saint and his own projects and whatnot. But being that I'm such a big Armored Saint fan, it was cool to see Bob giving them the spotlight that they did. Sure. And it was cool. And, of course, Jackal, his favorite band, Night Demon, was represented.
Yeah, Jarvis Weatherby.
Yeah.
He's been on our show, hasn't he?
I don't remember.
I think that's who I interviewed.
Okay, well, it's been a while.
Yeah, I think that's who I had on was Jarvis.
Sure. And I even threw a shout-out to Jackal.
Look at that.
I did. And Jarvis knew who he was.
Of course he did.
He knew him from his handle in the chat room. I said, "Yeah, our good friend Jackal One is a big fan." Oh, you mean Jim?
Yeah, that's the guy that's listened to our dumbass record 400 times in a row.
Yeah, that's it. So he knew who Jackal was.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So yeah, he got a little shout out.
Well, that's good.
And then Bob sicked some kind of a caller in on me. The guy was just like, "Who?" He goes, "What kind of questions you got for Neeley from the Classic Metal Show?" And he's just like, "What?" He goes, "I called to talk to Gonzo."
That's good. I didn't see that.
No, he did ask me a question. He just asked me. He says, "Well, what made you become a metalhead?"
Oh boy,
So,
really?
yeah. So then he got to.
What is that like, Neeley?
Yeah. What's it like to be a metalhead?
Yeah, Neeley, what's that like?
Yeah. What's it like?
What comes to mind?
Yeah. When I say
metalhead, what comes to mind?
Yeah. When I say metalhead, what comes to mind?
Yeah.
I don't know. Steel helmet.
Yeah. Eraserhead, the movie, maybe.
Right. Yeah. So Bob allowed me to be a part of the show, even though you had to duck out.
Yeah, I just didn't have any way to do it.
Well, that's the breaks, my friend. No, I guess you're going to have to go solo on a show sometime without me.
Oh, whatever. Like, I care.
Yeah, you should, man. It's a big opportunity.
You know what? Whatever. As long as one of us is on and gets to say theclassicmetalshow.com once or twice, I don't give a fuck if it's both, one, whoever. And I'll be honest. If I'd have been on there too, one of us, either me or you, isn't saying anything. Because it would have he had what? He had Jasmine, Jarvis, Gonzo himself, you, and me.
Right.
In an hour-long show? Nah.
Yeah, that's too many people in such a short such a short show.
Mm-hmm.
But I was impressed with the video quality, though.
Yeah, the video quality. Whatever they use to switch the cameras like that, I got to get with what's his name, the producer,
right?
Jake. I got to get with Jake and ask him what software they're using to switch the cameras like that. Yeah,
because they do a nice job.
That is sweet. It's got to be something automatic that's hooked into Skype somehow.
Well, yeah, it's voice activated.
Yeah, well, we need it because if we had that, then me and you could really do something.
Yeah, well, we could actually do this show on camera if we wanted to.
Well, I know I've been wanting to do that anyway, and I know how to do it, but it's kind of a hassle without the camera switching. Because then, the way it would work is one of us will be big and one will be the little small guy in the window.
Right.
And that's cheesy.
Yeah, I agree.
That's not what I want.
Well, which is why we haven't done it yet, because we want to do it right if we ever get to the point of doing it.
Yeah, well, that sort of got put off by my schedule this year, didn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Just a little. We were all set, bought cameras, ready to go.
Yeah.
And my goddamn work schedule sort of changed.
Sure. Oh, well. It'll come eventually.
Oh, yeah.
It'll come. And then let me see here. Oh, I gotta throw a shout out here to our Delise friends.
Yeah.
I think it was. I can't remember if it was Rich or Patrick. I got to take a look. But
they're different.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're brothers.
Same thought pattern, though.
Right. Well, he sent a link over to me, and I shared it with you.
Yeah.
Of a guy who's a fan of us.
Mm-hmm.
I corresponded with him this week. He goes by the name of Razor Fist.
Right.
And he does these documentary shows, self-produced like us. And he does these video documentary shows that are on YouTube.
Right.
And he does a really good job. This guy knows his metal.
Right.
He knows histories of bands and all this other stuff. Well, he did one on Dokken.
Yeah.
And he used like three excerpts from some of our interviews that we've done.
That was so good.
And he used video and interview audio to bolster his discussion or his presentation.
Sure.
From, the different members of Dokken over the years and whatnot. And he used some classic metal show stuff. And I sent it over to Don.
Right.
And Don was actually very impressed with it. He was like, this is the most unbiased, very fair, critique of the Dokken career.
Right.
And he says, this was really good.
I thought it was pretty good.
And he says, it's inspired me. He says, I think maybe it's time to actually pull the trigger and actually let's do a Dokken record.
Some Dokken traps going on. Oh, sorry.
So due to some of my prodding and after watching this documentary from Razor Fist, Don has decided that he wants to do a new Dokken record.
Will you go on a limb here? I'm going to ask you to go out on a limb. Will you go ahead and take credit for the next Dokken record?
Me personally?
Yes.
No, not really.
Yes, it's time. It's time, Eddie. I mean, Neeley. Take credit.
No, it's not me. No.
Take credit. Say, I'm the reason you guys get another Dokken record in 2016.
Exactly.
Come on, Neeley. Take credit.
I could, and Don actually said that in his email.
I think you should start taking credit for it now.
Right.
And then the next time we have Don on, we'll get him to say the same thing.
Sure.
And then we'll send the audio to Eddie Trunk.
Right.
That way Eddie can't steal it later. Because Eddie's going to say, when I did this round table,
yeah,
I talked to Don off the air. Many of you didn't hear it.
Look at Jim Redmond. Neeley saved Dokken.
He did.
Yeah.
It's all about Neeley.
Jackal 1 reunion. That's not happening. That is not going to happen.
No. There's no. I don't understand why people want a reunion. Why? What is the appeal?
I don't know. I guess everybody just wants the original.
I would be more happy with just Jeff doing some shows with them than I would the full-blown reunion.
True.
No offense to George. I'm liking every one of the 15 records that he's put out this year.
And he's got another one coming.
Yeah, he's got another one in production, a new Sweet Lynch record.
Right.
I saw that on his Facebook the other day. But I do like what he's doing, but George can't play as good as John.
Right.
Or doesn't.
Which, Razor Fist pointed out in his documentary.
That George can't play like that?
Yeah, he says that, of course it goes to the whole John plays Lynch Dokken material better than Lynch does.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, just think about it, dude. To do a tour of the country, first of all, they would all hate each other by, I don't know, show 3.
Yes.
Because they can't even get it together to play one show.
Right.
Right now. So is there the thought that they can possibly put it together for like 40 shows? That's going to be ridiculously bad.
Right.
That's the first thing. Second thing, you're going to have George not quite as good as he used to be. You're going to have Don not as good as he used to be. I can't say the same about Mick or Jeff, because I think Mick is probably better than he used to be honest, because he's not as fucked up as he used to be.
Right.
At least on stage. He seems to come to the table ready to play every time I've seen him.
Sure.
And Pilsen has stayed in perfect rock shape with Foreigner.
Right.
So I think those two could play as good or better, but I don't think Don and George can. And therefore, I don't think the shows would be this incredible thing that people want.
Well, again, I just think it's the fact that the members, the hardcores anyway, want to see those 4 members on stage.
What would you rather see, a good Dokken show or a bad Dokken show with the original guys?
Oh, a good Dokken show.
See, I just cannot imagine
I don't
when
care.
You add in.
I don't care about the reunion.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't understand why anybody does. Why they would want to see A, deteriorated players, and B, deteriorator players playing when they're already unhappy being together.
Right.
That just doesn't sound like that's going to be a good tour.
Yeah.
I don't blame Don for saying fuck this.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole money thing, which if Don did it anyway, he's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's not happening.
I've gotten the same emails as you, my friend.
It's not happening.
I'm pretty sure it ain't ever going to happen.
Right. So they're going over to Europe and they're going to play for 10 days.
Right.
On the 15th, I think they're leaving this weekend or something. But
Don's like already there, isn't he?
I don't know. He said the 15th, but they may have already left. I don't know.
I know Don said he was going early to do like vacation or something.
No, he's doing it after.
Was it after?
After the tour, then then he's gonna tour around and go see some monasteries and things.
Right.
So anyway, that's a little. I don't know if that's so much news as it is just discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But it ain't happening. So stop with the reunion.
Yeah, the reunion is done. If you want to see the reunion, go see the Lynch Mob reunion. That's happening right now.
Look at Jackal, of course. No George, Jeff, or Mick equals no Dokken.
Yeah, well, he's right about that.
Right.
But I'll take the Don Dokken solo band with just the word Dokken in front of it. That's fine with me.
Right.
It works.
Sure.